A lot of these units, they teach me things that I otherwise probably would not have learned if I were to say a unit like Firefly. After playing with this unit for the past 3 days, after going against the angry crowd that is my chat, begging me to play Amphoros on Bob's account, and as per the title of this video, the best unit in Honkai Star Rail. The actual, objectively speaking, demonstrably speaking, best unit in Honkai Star Rail. Who could it be? Who could it be? Right? Could it be my wife? Could it be Sunday? Could it be Hue? Right? Could it be Idudeo? Bobbin? Maybe Bobbin, right? Our girlfriend? Fagyu? Lingsha Showcase? Spicy Guy? Maho Shoujo? Ranmei? Very balanced unit? DOT perhaps? Baldi? Ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, it is none other than Mimi. War. Is Mimi? Yep. Mimi is better than Acheron. Mimi is better than Firefly. Mimi is better than Reba. Mimi is better than Ramei. Mimi is better than Lingsha. Mimi is goddamn better than Babin. Now, why do I say this? Why do I say... Okay, before you guys start to dislike this video, you know, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know, this is a free 5-star free unit, not even close to what Robin has to offer. Try running. Before you guys start typing, let me explain, right? Because I know nowadays people have the attention span of a goddamn child. Let me explain why... That was my wife face, y'all, beating me up. Why is Mimi the best unit in Honky Starbucks? So I would like to refer to you guys this particular tweet right here. I made this tweet a couple of days ago. Remembrance Trailblazer is one of the best designed unit HSR has made to date. It teaches the players the importance of speed tuning, SP economy, energy gain, enemy movesets, as well as buff coverage. If you spend the time to learn Mimi, learn how to make use Mimi to its fullest capabilities, which would include you guys learning all this, you will not be disappointed. And this is why I believe that Remembrance Trailblazer / Mimi is the best unit in Honkai Star Rail. Whether it's the best or whatever, I do believe this is the best, not because necessarily because of like how strong they are, right? Because technically speaking, in terms of like amplification from a support perspective or from a utility perspective, it is not all that impressive, especially by themselves, right? If you were to run Mimi alone without Babin, or if you were to run Mimi alone without Sunday or without any other amplifiers, just as a single support, frankly speaking, the buffs are not that crazy. The most important thing is basically this crit damage buff, as well as the true damage, right? As well as the true damage. These two are basically the only buffs you have. But why do I say this is the best unit is because when I actually spent the past couple of days to play Remembrance Trailblazer, as well as Mimi, it made me a lot more aware of some things that I didn't used to give a shit last time. So an example of a unit that kind of had a similar result was Boothill. I wouldn't say Boothill is like a insane unit, he's bad at 5 or whatever, but Boothill taught me to be more aware of these kind of things in Honkai Star Rail that can improve my gameplay. So for example, if I were to use Boothill's skill on one unit and the unit breaks with like, you know, a Pella ultimate, you can actually cast his skill again and you can very quickly stack on Pokke trick shots, right? Another example, you know, Idudeo. You know, when do you use the ultimate? How many skill points must you distribute to your enhanced basic attack? Should you be saving? A lot of these units, they teach me things that I otherwise probably would not have learned if I were to say a unit like Firefly. Because I think we can all collectively agree, this has nothing to do with how strong she is, but she's very, very easy to use. Now, from a casual perspective, from a player that just want to get it over and done with, I think Firefly is an excellent goddamn unit. So I think she's very, very straightforward, and I think it gives you a very comfortable experience playing Honky Starbucks. But at the flip side is, I don't really learn too much from the game itself. I don't really need to care about speed tuning or like action value or like what the hell the enemy is gonna do, because the enemy is just gonna be weakness broken anyways with the extent of Rame. I don't need to care a lot of things if I'm gonna be using units that are like more straightforward. And Mimi, in my opinion, is gonna be the best of the bunch, because no other unit in Honkai Starbucks has given me the amount of interaction that Mimi has given me. So for example, right, this tweet that I posted also like I believe this was like legit yesterday at 5 a.m. because I always play after I end stream because that's just how much I love this game. I realized that you can have 2 different Mimi supports on 2 different units at the same time, which means that units like Babin, which they are very, very slow, as long as they are on field and their turn don't expire, you can effectively double the true damage multiplier. So in the future, we have like slower supports. Maybe 3B is like super. You could technically just give Mimi's buff to both units at the same time, your DPS as well as the support, which honestly is a very, very interesting interaction. And this is the difference between using Mimi on Robin and using Mimi not on Robin. So this is without Robin and this is with Robin. You quite literally have an additional instance of damage, which would gain the true damage multiplier of 42%. And I feel like I've still not fully discovered the potentials of what Remembrance Trailblazer has to offer. I'm having a lot of fun playing this unit. Apparently, there's literally a Remembrance Trailblazer main DPS. You can legit just run bro as a main DPS with like quadruple harmony, slap on Babin, slap on Sunday, slap on all yours, and just make Mimi the main DPS. There's already a video out there somewhere. That is just Mimi by itself. It made me see what the enemy does also started to get factored into my consideration. So for example, I think the previous run where we had the facial, I was more aware or rather even chat was like more aware. It's like, were we using the True Song? Was he going to do a charge attack? Was he going to do the Haktua? Was he going to do AoE? We became more aware of the enemy movesets. And this was something that I think Mimi helped me to learn and become a little bit more acknowledge them to improve my gameplay experience. So if Mimi was not there, because everything about Mimi is tied to this charge, right? When do we get this charge to activate the extra turn from Mimi? It is legit night and day. Because if you were to activate this Mimi right before a DPS, your DPS effectively wastes 1 turn. It is not something that can be easily controlled. The best you can do is essentially your ultimate and trying to time how close you get to this 100% for the rest of the team, right? This 10 energy is equivalent to 1% charge. And if your units have full energy, you basically no charge because they don't gain any energy. And on top of that, you need to manage your skill points, right? What if your DPS gets an extra turn? Do you even have enough skill points to activate your skills or for the remaining of your action units? That is why I believe units like Mimi, right? This is not just to say Remembrance Trailblazer and Mimi is the best unit, but I think units like Mimi, this whole charge mechanic, it made Honkai Starbucks have more depth for me. Of course, this is completely optional. You can just play this as a fun button, slap on Babin, slap on face of the traditional fart team, slap on Super Break. If you want to do all that, sure. I don't think Remembrance Trailblazer would be a good unit for you. But if you're somebody that appreciates the turn-based nature of Honkai Star Rail, I think units like Remembrance Trailblazer, if you go ahead and learn how this kit functions and how this works, you can see a lot of, oh my god, glazing, a lot of beauty in Honkai Starbucks turn-based mechanics. Because for a turn-based game, you actually have a lot of ways to cut in and apply these different buffs and additional turns before the enemy even moves. Yeah, this sounds like not a sponsored video, by the way. This is not a sponsored video, this is not a glazed video. But I think that my bottom line is basically I really enjoyed a lot of my gameplay with Mimi the past couple of days. Now, of course, this was after the entire finishing of the apparently it's called Yep Forest. I still haven't gotten it because we are going to be saving this for our Bob's journey. So we are going to be playing M Forest after this. Quick little note before I just bounce. A couple of little tips if you guys want to get started on, making use of Mimi to its fullest potential, right? Builds, I already kind of went through this in the early access, so basically I have no change. Technically speaking, the brand new, the Victorious, right? Like the Aglaia set, technically it's the best in slot, but frankly speaking, Remembrance Trailblazer just doesn't do that much damage anyways, so I prefer to just have as much speed as humanly possible, slap on the Luxasha, slap on this, oh my god, Hail Wishful Resin, and just give them as much speed as humanly possible as well as the energy regeneration. Tracers wise, this might be a little bit crazy. I'm not leveling the skill and the talent, right, which also offers yet again another layer of depth to Mimi, because if Mimi were to die, okay, not die, if Mimi were to faint, if Mimi were to be a chill guy and just leave the battlefield temporarily, and you summon it back again with RMC, you get an instant 50% charge. Which is why I'm keeping Mimi at a very, very low health, so that we could potentially trigger this for a free additional 50% charge. That's what I'm doing personally. If you have really leveled it, then so be it. You know, you can just play as per usual. This is one of the only things that I would probably level, because it technically does a little bit of damage, especially if you were to get the E6, which, you know, is going to be 100% crit rate, so it could be a little bit more damage. But these two would probably most likely be the most important traits for Mimi. Everything else is just kind of whatever, right? It's just kind of whatever. I once again, I don't want to be called, you know, the guy that's killing Mimi for fun. She's not dead, right? Mimi is not dead. We're using this from a strategic approach so that we can increase our charge, and she'll provide even more value to your team, right? So that's gonna be that for the tracers, the light cones, and the relics. For the islands, I would say this is pretty much the most important island, right? Increase the crit rate with the support. And the buff applies to the Mimo Sprite Mimo Master. It doesn't give you the additional turn, it only gives you the buff, which namely is going to be the true damage, right? You get the additional 10% crit rate as well as the true damage. So for future summon units like Aglaya, like your Casteris, I don't know who else is going to be summon units, this is going to be very, very good as well. So I would say E1 is the most important island for Remembrance Trailblazer. This one, it's pretty good, right? It's technically pretty good. Gives you a little bit more charge, gives you a little bit more energy, it casts your ultimate a little bit frequently, but not as important. Technically, none of this matters, because you're gonna get E6 for free anyways, which is really good because devs listened. You don't have to play Yapkani's entire goddamn side quest line and finish up picking all the mints to get an E6 Harmony Trailblazer. You can quite literally get an E6 RMC from just finishing a story. So everybody should be able to get E6 with relative ease, right? With relative ease. So that's pretty much it. This is mainly for your units like Face Shell and Akron. Not too important as well, because if you don't want to use them, then you don't really need to care about this that much, right? Then, yeah, that's pretty much it for the islands portion. And in conclusion, one final thing. If this is the standard of quality from a free unit that is Remembrance Trailblazer, what do you think is gonna happen when we get the inevitable 5-star version? Because Harmony Trailblazer was out for a very long time, all the way up through 2.7, when we finally got a Fugue as a replacement to Harmony Trailblazer. And at that same point, it's not really even a replacement. You legit just run both at the same team to go for the Sustainers break. So if MiHoYo were to release a similar kit designed like Remembrance Trailblazer, but a 5-star version instead, I do believe that support might be able to change everything. This is not pulling advice, this is purely speculation, but the amount of interaction and fun and different mechanics that Remembrance Trailblazer as well as Mimi has offered to me, it was incredible, right? It is nothing short of a goddamn miracle. Oh my god, rank 1 Mimi Glazer, rank 1 Mimi Glazer. So I'm just wondering, how is the 5-star version gonna be like? Because at the point of time in Honkai Starbucks, there's basically only, 3 different teams. Your crit, your break, and your DOT. So unless that support is gonna be meant for DOT, Robin's position as the rank 1 support, especially for your crit DPS, it might be shifted. I'm not too sure if we are able to run the DPS plus Robin plus Remembrance Trailblazer plus the 5-star Remembrance Trailblazer all at the same team. Because if that is possible, your main DPS will have like infinite turns. It will legit be like a main DPS plus everyone in their mount just has infinite turns. Meme support, Robin support, the 5-star meme support, and then you wonder to yourself, what the hell did I even pull Sunday in the first place? Or like Spargo, or even Bronya, right? Like, okay, like I'm not even kidding. I also said this in my other video the other day, which is because of the existence of meme, right? Meme and Remembrance Trailblazer, I actually don't think that Bronya is that straightforward of a pick anymore in the standard selector, right? Purely because of the existence of this free unit that is Remembrance Trailblazer, especially not at E0. Especially not E0. Number 1, the goddamn skill covers only 1 turn. And nowadays, almost every single unit in Honkai Starbucks, they want a buff coverage of more than 1 turn. You see follow-up, you see super break, you see DOT, right? All these additional turns flying in, 1 turn is simply not going to cover it. Number 2, the skill point is goddamn horrendable. And even if the E1, it is goddamn horrendable. Unless you have an E6, then maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's not that bad, but I would say that Bronya's position as this, diabolical stand unit, it is quite literally getting challenged by this free unit. One last food for thought. One last food for thought. Isn't it kind of crazy that Honkai Starbucks has so many good 4-star units? Like your Harmony Trailblazer, Remembrance Trailblazer, as well as your Han March 7th. And all these units, they're frankly speaking, giving me a lot of fun. And I might be able to make another video. But I did feel like Hope has, her existence is like she serves almost zero purpose with the introduction of Han March 7th. And I am running an E2 S1 Topaz, by the way. I said Han March 7 was better than Topaz. Might be a separate video for another day. But I feel that the amount of free 4 stars or like free units that we get in Honkai Starbucks, it is genuinely really good. So, yep, with that, we have come to the end of best unit in Honkai Star Rail. Word of the day is going to be 5-star Mimi is coming. 5-star Mimi is coming. So join Twitch, join YouTube, join Discord, join Twitter, all the best. I'll catch up with you. See you guys next time. Take care.